TFL EV is brought to you by Flow Charger, maker of reliable, high-quality charging stations for your electric vehicle.
Do you guys remember the good old days when BMW built the old i3 and the i8? You know, they were kind of funky and different. Well, not anymore. This is BMW's latest and perhaps greatest all-electric car. It's the iX M60, and today Tommy and I are here in Germany about to take it for a test ride. Tommy, what's all that noise in the background?
Well, this is really cool. We are out here in beautiful Germany at the Nürburgring for the 24 hours at the Nürburgring, and in front of us is probably the greatest view I have ever filmed. That it's just truly beautiful here. And we're at the BMW Center taking a look at the new iX, and in this video we're going to go for a full walk around of the iX M60 and then get it on the road and let you know what it's like to drive.
Yeah, so let's start under the hood, Tommy, because can I pop the hood?
You can't pop the hood.
I can't pop the hood.
Show
Okay.
them what you can do.
All right, I think what you can do is open that. That's as close as you're going to get to actually getting under the hood. It is the windshield wiper fluid reservoir filling hole, which is cleverly hidden under the BMW logo. Now, of course, as everybody knows, SUVs and crossovers are red hot. So now, of course, we have a rather family-sized crossover that BMW has made all electric. And of course, this is the hot version, the M, right, Tommy?
Yeah, the M60. So the M60 gets about 16 more horsepower over the standard iX50. However, it gets 185 more pound-feet of torque, which is truly nuts. So the total output on this model, over 600 horsepower and over 800 pound-feet of torque when it's in its boost mode, which is just off the wall in terms of power. Truly unbelievable that you can get a family hauling all-electric SUV from BMW, which can peak at over 800 pound-feet of torque.
Now let's do a walk around, show them what the design language is. Of course, you've got new and rather large BMW kidney grille.
Well, this is a really cool thing, actually. So I went on the launch of this vehicle when they unveiled it, and this has a self-healing material on it. So you got a lot of sensors, a lot of components hidden behind this kidney grille design, but there's a film, so if it gets rock chips, if it gets scratched, it actually has a self-healing component to it, which is really cool. But the overall design is very, very cool. Now, the M60 does come with a unique set of wheels and the blue brake calipers. This one, 22-inch wheel design with these M Performance carbon fiber bits. Now, the 22-inch wheels do have a hit on the range. So the range on this model, about 274 miles. Of course, if you want extra range, definitely opt for the standard X50. That car is going to give you some more range. But my favorite angle is not the front, it's actually the rear. This is where things get really cool. So you do have a little bit of i3 in the overall design back here with this kind of floating roofline and these truly insanely cool tail lamps. I think the tail lamps bring this car all together. They look fantastic.
You know, these horizontal tail lamps are becoming a thing nowadays in design language, but here's something cool, Tommy, let me show you. When you open it up, because of regulations, you also get a second set of tail lamps right in there so that people can see the car even with the tailgate open.
Yeah, I mean, love it or dislike it, the iX certainly brings a new and fresh design to the BMW lineup.
Shall we see what's under here?
Yeah, so underneath there we've got a little bit of storage space. We've got the little cargo net there, the little, which is pretty nice. Lots and lots of cool stuff.
And we've got 80, 20, 80 folding seat. And of course, this being an electric car, they fold electrically. Should I fold the other one? Let's see how much room there is. Let's do the other one. Look at that.
This is also kind of a throwback to the i3, but you know, lots of kind of new materials, cutting edge materials, reinforced plastics, reinforced carbon materials. They really took this car to a next level from a structure and design standpoint. Even the door handles are pretty revolutionary. You've got these holes in the side of the door and then these little pads that you lift up on. Now the interior is where things kind of go to the extreme on the BMW iX. And BMW has taken a two-pronged approach to their latest electrified offerings. So the i4 is kind of like a standard BMW that's been electrified, whereas the iX is the spaceship. It is truly incredible, all the technology that this thing offers. So the start-stop button is this little, it's not even a square, it's got a little bit of an angle to it. And look at this dashboard with the two-spoke steering wheel, the giant curved screen staring at you, and the soundtrack by who, Dad?
Oh gosh, I forgot already.
The M60 is a specific soundtrack tuned by Hans Zimmer, who's the composer who wrote the soundtrack to Interstellar
And Kung Fu Panda.
and Kung Fu Panda.
That's right. So check it out. I've got tons of room back here, tons of leg room. I also have my own heating controls, and I have two, not one, Tommy, but two USB-C ports, and of course this really funky door. This is reminiscent of, you know, some other big cars that I recall where the door is electronic. More to the point, this would directly compete with the Tesla Model X in terms of both size and price, Tommy.
Well, the price on the M60, we're looking at over $100,000 starting, $106,000, nearly $107,000. But for that, you do get tons and tons and tons of options. One thing this car is missing, I'm noticing, is a panoramic sunroof, which is kind of interesting. But what I like about the M60 is a lot of the newer BMW M cars sacrifice comfort for the name of ride handling, performance, and even on the inside. But this car has the biggest, squishiest, nicest lounge chairs, I think, in the industry.
Well, let's switch
Yeah, you want to take it for a spin?
Yeah, let's take it for a spin.
Oh, while we're here, I do want to talk about the charging. Now, BMW has a full set of DC fast chargers ready to go to keep all their electric cars charged up. The charging port on the iX is in the rear on this 3/4 panel. Push in on the port and you can see it does have a CCS style design. Of course, we're in Europe, so we've got a little bit of a different design for the level 1 and level 2 ports, but peak charging rate right around 200 kilowatts. So not a bad charging vehicle as well. And let's hop on in here.
All right, hop on in with me.
What do you think of the latest iDrive? This is a new system. And the jewel selector down here,
Yeah, I mean it's
really cool.
very ritzy, dude. I feel like I'm underdressed to be in this car.
Look at this.
Look at that. I know. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I don't want to blast out the mic with the
With the air
airflow.
Yeah.
This dashboard, though, I mean, between the speaker system, this kind of dual design with the dual levels, it's pretty out of this world.
This is a little reminiscent of what is it? Sikorsky Crystal? Is that what that's like?
Yep.
I probably should start it first. Huh? Let's try that. There it goes. Now we're rolling.
Makes some cool sounds too, huh?
Yeah.
So when you go into the mode button here, you can see the mode selector.
Yep.
And we're going to go right into sport mode.
Okay, and we're gonna do just floor it. Is that what we're gonna do? We're not gonna let it warm up. We don't have to warm up.
I don't think we have to
Hey,
let it
show
warm
some
up.
of the cool cars here, by the way.
Yeah, look at these cars they have here. We've got the BMW M3 competition, the BMW M4 competition, and that beautiful yellow. I think it's the car yellow.
It is the car yellow, yeah.
Now, one thing which is interesting is they've gone to this kind of bronze interior accenting, which is definitely different.
Shall we give it a little bit of the beans here?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit of.
Don't scare anybody.
Okay, here we go.
Yep, that's fast. Oh! What in the heck?
I love that. That's got to be in the 3-second range, I'm guessing.
Woo!
Yeah. They gave it a big battery, Tommy, and a big battery translates to big torque. So 105 kilowatt hours, which is big, as well as relatively quick charging speeds, I believe, if you recall. Do you remember?
Yeah, I just talked about it in the rear, but like 195, 200 peak kilowatt in charging speeds. Now, to make the M60 quicker than the standard iX, it's got a beefed up rear motor because it's a dual motor setup, one in the rear, one in the front, and then it also has a more robust inverter in it as well. So that's how they get the additional, primarily torque, right? Because horsepower is only up 15, 16, torque is up nearly 200 foot-pounds. So that is where the crazy power comes from.
Now, this is a really cool part of the area because this is where a lot of the race teams have their headquarters.
Well, OEM manufacturers too, so you'll notice some big names, Mercedes, Bilstein, Continental, Porsche, I think was just back there.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, a lot of companies, a lot of teams do their testing here at the Nürburgring, so they have to have facilities to get it all lined up and all that.
I think it's a very comfortable driving car, Tommy. I like the seats. Actually, look at the seats. They're really funky looking.
Yeah, the seats are pretty cool,
yeah.
Lots of interesting patterns in there. What I like about it, though, just initial impressions, it's nice and soft. Even in the sport setting here, let's kind of change the modes around. Let's go into the efficient setting.
Okay.
It doesn't beat you up, even on this relatively rough concrete road that's under construction. It feels like it's a very compliant suspension.
Yeah, it feels.
That was good, right?
Yeah, it feels almost, dare I say it, American-like in its driving demeanor, at least when you have it in comfort mode.
Yeah, definitely.
Should we take a little twisty road? Give it just a quick quick test here?
Sure.
There's a little bit of a curve up there. Let's see how it does. I mean, whoa, is that the Hans Zimmer effect right there?
Yeah, did you hear that sound? That's the Hans Zimmer sound. Yeah, it's fast.
It's fast.
Really quick.
Yeah, it's quick. Yeah, it's got a lot of torque. Let's see how it does around this curve.
I kind of like the Hans Zimmer effect.
Yeah, it's good, Tommy. It's actually very tossable. You know, it's definitely got the BMW DNA. The steering wheel is nice and thick, and it's the biggest square bottom wheel I've recently driven.
What kind of, you know what it looks like? It looks like the C8 Corvette steering wheel.
Yeah, it does. You're right. It's got a little bit of that Corvette in it. So let me turn around here.
Yeah, that's good.
And then we'll head back.
Did you see what this is? This is the Nürburgring Off-Road Park.
Oh, cool. Look at that.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think he's taking his Porsche in the off-road park.
Something tells me he's not.
No, something tells me he's
Yeah,
not.
the 911.
Yeah.
No, I mean, this is a very interesting idea, right? They're definitely targeting the Model X with this vehicle. And I can tell you from a build quality and the feeling of the materials on the inside, this is head and shoulders above the Model X. Still though, like not a lot of hard buttons, just like the Tesla. They've really gone after the minimalist interior design. Do you like the interior?
I do like the interior. It's very open and airy, especially in this light color. It feels like it could, you know, gobble up a lot of kilometers at one charge.
Well, yeah, I mean, 274 miles with these 22s is not as far as a Model X can go. And from a performance standpoint, it's also not quite what the Plaid is, right? So it's not going to be quite as vicious in the acceleration. But then, unlike the Plaid, you have a real steering wheel. Well, wheel's kind of a stretch, but at least it has a top and a bottom.
Yeah, it's got a square top and a square bottom.
Which is better than the yoke in the Plaid. And I think the ride quality is much better in this than the Tesla.
I am, you know, if I'm going to be a little critical here, I'd like to see a little bit more buttons. I mean, the lack of buttons makes it very modern and very...
Well, that's trendy now.
I know, but at some point, some of the hard buttons are nice to have, especially for... I know there's volume buttons here.
Yeah, there's some steering wheel controls. And then, of course, this has all the latest in BMW safety and driver assistance tech. So it's got lane centering, and it's got the adaptive cruise control, and all of that included. The dual screens, though, they look quite nice. I think the quality is very, very high.
And this wraparound, right? It's not flat; it's curved.
Yeah, it's a curved display.
It's a really nice display.
And I like how airy this central area is too.
Yeah.
Wireless charger down here. We've got the USB-Cs. Cup holders are definitely not American style. You can tell that this was a German automobile.
No doubt. But overall, I'm impressed, Tom. You know, people. Here's my take on electric cars, right? People like to compare them to internal combustion engine cars, right? ICE cars.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do that, eventually you pick a winner and a loser, and it makes you miserable. So I like to say, you know, they're not better, they're not worse, they're just different. And embrace the difference. And that way you enjoy all the kind of cool benefits that electrification brings you without having to constantly say, oh my God, I'm missing that great VA sound. So now we have a Kung Fu Panda soundtrack. That's cool in itself, you know?
You know,
it is.
The big downside to the iX, I think, for a lot of folks is going to be the exterior design. It's just very, very polarizing.
Yeah, I mean the big grille. But the thing about the big grille is I'm kind of getting used to it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I think it's one of those things where after enough time looking at it, it just kind of seems right and fits the car quite nicely. So we're back at the BMW Center. So my final impressions, at least on this first drive, the powertrain is so well sorted. It's incredibly smooth. It's a lot softer than I was expecting, and that is definitely a good thing. And the interior tech is quite good. I drove this latest iDrive in the i4, and it really is very intuitive, much better than the previous generations.
So here's my question, dude. Is it lust-worthy? Is this something where you're going to go and think to yourself, you know, I need to spend over $100,000 and have the latest and greatest in BMW electric cars? And I think if you know you look at it from it's not better, it's not worse, it's a different perspective, then it is lust-worthy. You know, if you're going to start comparing this to the X7 or the X5, then you're probably going to find fault with it. Where you're going to be like, hey, I don't like the fact that I have to charge it up overnight, or I don't like the fact that it takes a while to charge up at public stations. But then you got to love the fact that with gas prices at $6 a gallon, you know, this is going to be a vehicle where your home becomes your gas station.
All right, well, I'm just going to say it's better because I'm going to take a stand. I think that this is nicer than the X5M. And then, of course, X7 doesn't currently have an M version, but that's probably in the pipeline. So let us know what you think in the comment section. As always, we'll see you in another episode. Check out alltfl.com for the latest and greatest in new car reviews.